Hey everybody, it's Vessel of Truth here. Just want to do a short video. Tongue twist. I've been working around the house today, but I've also been monitoring all the information that I can get a hold of with all the different sites and different people that I can speak to, that are in the area that, this storm is hitting. And then I've also looked at the, I hate it, going to the actual news networks and looking at their videos and what they are saying, and then going out and getting on the sites that I've got bookmarked on the computer, for like the buoy data and, windy.com and several others that I've got bookmarked, whatever, to give you all the information that you need, that's actual data that, thus far they've not actually bothered to correct and make it support the lies that they are saying. It's very, very interesting that they are lying through their teeth. They're saying that this storm come across, on the exact day of the 16th anniversary of Katrina. What's the chances? Yeah. Well, be that as it may, there is a storm down there, but it is not a Category 4. I know I've got information from a lot of people saying that other people's made videos. I've not had a chance to really see what other people are saying. Hopefully they'll catch up on that later. I'm planning to do a couple more videos, now that I've kind of got things caught up around here. So I'll probably, have a couple more videos, maybe even 3 or so. I don't know. Just depends on what the Lord's will is. But, this is one of the main videos I want for today because, this goes right along the lines, that Yeshua, Jesus, stressed during his ministry, and that is, take heed, let no man deceive you. And by far, they are lying through their teeth, left and right, saying that this storm has come across, having 150-mile-an-hour winds, and it's just total pandemonium, total destruction, And when I started doing the lead work, going to these different sites and the buoy data, the highest wind I could find on buoy data, if you don't know what that is, they have buoys, that have technology on it that tells you, wind speeds and, wave sizes and, all kinds of, good information. And the highest mile per hour I could find in buoy data, and of course, granted, this isn't on the land, this is out in the ocean, in the Gulf, was like 50 mile an hour. I think I did come across one that was like 53 mile an hour. And then when I was going through on, the national wind maps, I know for the nationwide picture, it said the highest gust thus far today was like 78 mile an hour whenever I looked at it. And then I got on windy.com and set it for mile per hour, and I was all over Louisiana, all around the eye and out from it, and the highest I come across was still in the 40s and 50s. I did have one 62 mile an hour, and that's still 62 mile an hour, but it's a long way away from 150 mile an hour, so yeah, there's a storm surge, but they have the technology to push in and make a storm surge, that is totally unreal. And people would think, that, wow, it's a devastating storm. But really, it's just mankind doing it with their technology. To what end? Well, it seems like the big thing that the elites are wanting to do is they're wanting to displace as many people as possible and bankrupt people. They're trying to change everything in the United States to where everyone no longer has a nest egg of savings. Everybody's got to be, on that same level of, what money they have is what they just made from their paycheck, or the last little bit of whatever they have in the bank, or the government checks that they have rolling in, or the food stamps, or whatever. They seem to want everybody propped up by the government. That way they have control over you, your household, your meeting of your needs. Like that way they can give you an ultimatum. You either do this, 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 or this, or you're not getting what you need. And yeah, we knew it was coming, but this is happening worldwide. There are millions of people that have been displaced. They have nothing to go back to. It's either been burned up in a fire or it's just been washed away. They have nothing left. Houses, cars, all of the stuff that they had. And, that puts a hurt on a lot of things, you figure. Even with, which is, it's not an issue to the government because, of their technology, but even the gun owners, you've got to store them somewhere, whether it's in your house in a safe or in your vehicle or whatever, safe deposit box in banks. If your whole town is just burnt up or washed away, everything you have is gone. And, that's one way of dealing with people. Take away everything that they have. How much damage can a person that just has the clothes on their back really be? Sooner or later they're going to get hungry. Sooner or later, they're going to need a place to stay. See what I'm saying? They're demoralizing people. You're just ripping out, the wind from under their sail and letting them fall to the ground and crash and burn. And that's what I'm saying, in the natural, if all you have to look forward to is, what you have in the bank or what you have in your house or your cars or whatever, you have a very shallow and pathetic existence, for one, because, I don't care who you are. Even if you're a Satanist or an atheist or whatever, you still have that thought of, why am I here? What is my purpose? And you know what? Even an atheist loves the feeling of helping people. They just have a warped way of seeing things because, believe it or not, most atheists, in other words, a true atheist, that, have read the Word, the reason they are an atheist is because the crap that the four-wall church system teaches makes no sense when you actually read what the Word of God says. Therefore, they think it's all a bunch of lies and bullcrap because, these fat cat preachers that's in it for the money, They can't tell these people the truth. Therefore, they're willfully allowing a soul to go to hell. Man, the skeeters are bad. I swear, man, if it ain't the bees, it's the skeeters or the horse flies. Man, it's always something wanting to take a hunk out of you. But be that as it may, I digress. The lies and the deception. People are just go anywhere you want, man. People are talking about, all the destruction, all the 150 mile an hour winds, the total hell on earth that they're presenting over the boob tube to the masses, that they're just sucking it up, Every drop that, they say, they are thriving on destruction and the peril of others. And that, my friends, my brothers and my sisters, is an evil spirit. People glorifying, the destruction and the total loss of everything, of others. You don't see them out, glorifying all the things that the Father has done. You have to search hard for that. Go out to a store and just see what people are talking about. I guarantee everything that you're going to hear is going to be something about either the fires, the floods, the earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, lightning strikes. Hey, you name it. All on the bad side. They don't have nothing to say about the blessings of the Father. And if they do have something to say against the blessings of the fathers, it's always something twisted like, who do these people think they are that, they prayed over their house and it didn't get burned? That's just pure luck. You think? No. Fact of the matter is, God will protect His own. But His own have gone so wayward that even they are going to get punched in the face a few times and get a good black eye and bloody nose to wake up to what's going on. If the only sense of information you have is what's coming across that scrying mirror you call a television, you have a warped sense of reality. You are feeding the beast system. You have got to step away from what the world calls the way of life. They're lying to you about the storms. They're lying to you about the fires. They're lying to you about the floods. Just over from my neck of the woods, over in Tennessee, man, 2 towns totally washed off the map almost. Waverly and Harrington, Tennessee. Man, just, and I looked it up, in that Harrington, they said that in a matter of a few hours, over 17 inches of rain fell. I might not be the smartest person in the world, but I know in my long life that I've been here on this flat plane that I've never heard of 17 inches of rain ever falling in a matter of a few hours. So I went to look it up. And I couldn't find anywhere that it's ever happened before. Even in the monsoon season, like in Taiwan, and where they have monsoons, they average like for that season, you know, in the 20-something inches of rain over the season. You know, but not in a couple hours. I mean, people need to wake up. They are lying to you, deceiving you. That is the main weapon of the enemy. Christ, our Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus, told us this. But people are just going along with what they're saying. And we need to snap out of it. You know, has anybody looked at the price of insurance lately? You know, take your pick. House insurance, life insurance, car insurance, truck insurance, you know, whatever type of insurance. It's off the hook. And it's going to keep going up because that's what they want. They want to make everything beyond the means of the slave. That would be you, and that would be me. Because, you know, these millionaires, if one of their houses gets destroyed, big whoop, got 10 more to choose from. And, you know, they're all in different places. So, what does it matter to them? They'll just make it a big tax write-off, and they'll get a big boatload of money because, you know, they make enough money to where, you know, they can use the tax loops and so on and so forth. We have got to be informed. And, you know, I challenge you all, you know, do what I've done, you know, get on the internet and use the tools that we have in this day of information and look for yourself. Stop believing what the media is telling you. It is a bunch of lies. You figure from the day you were born, they lied to you about the shape of the earth. They lied to you about going to space. And, you know, just on the masses of sheep that are believing the lies, you know, how idiotic is it that, you know, there are actually grown men and women that believe that NASA has a rover on Mars that they remote control, driving around. Now, if you lived where I live, you would know that's a bunch of bullcrap because you can be talking on your little cell phone, driving through the mountains, and you'll lose whoever you're talking to 10, 12, 14, 15 times to the point where you're just flat out tired of calling the people back. They even say whenever they launch a shuttle that whenever the shuttle gets over a certain point, they lose all radio contact and all that with them. Well, what about all them satellites and stuff? Not saying that, you know, there's no satellites, because there are things above us, but they are held up there by balloons, helium balloons. That's why, if you look it up, you'll find out that NASA is the leading consumer of helium, because they have a huge balloon factory that they need that helium for, to hold that technology up there. You know, they've been lying to you about cloning. They've been lying to you about the entities that are actually here. They've been lying to you about what they can and cannot do, because the technology that they have are at least probably 75 to 100 years ahead of what we have ever seen. You know, they have anti-gravitics. They have cloaking technology. They have lightning machines. They have, you know, dew weapons. They have underground tunnels. They have earthquake machines. They have all kinds of stuff. That's like every single light bulb in your house. If it's not an actual old-timey bulb that has the filament in it, if it's an LED, did you know that they can send a certain colored laser against one of your windows, and they can now hear everything that's going on in the house? They can also send frequencies along with it, and they can then use every single screen that is in the house, whether it's your phone, your TV, whatever, and it becomes a camera for them. Not only can they see you, they can hear you and record it. It's called Li-Fi. L-I-F-Y, I do believe. It's just like Wi-Fi, but Li-Fi. You know, they've had it for years. And now, you know, that they're putting up this new phone system. Starts with a 5, and I think it's like a G too, you know. They're able to do more and more and more with this technology that they have bled out to the public. It's all about control. Monitoring their every word, their every thought. That's what they're after. Your thoughts. You figure Facebook and so on and so forth. People know that, you know, your phone listens to you because, you know, listens to your conversation, and all of a sudden you're getting ads about whatever you was talking about. But beyond that, notice that whenever you go to start typing something on Facebook, the minute you think of a word, you can hit the first letter, and boom, all of a sudden, the predictive text in your keyboard has that exact word that you just thought of. You can go and look at the TED Talk, where they have made this technology prevalent. Yeah, they can read your thoughts. If that doesn't give you pause, I don't know what to tell you. But what's worse than that is the voice-to-skull technology. We used it over in the Gulf, over in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, sending out frequencies. You know, they believed in Allah. Well, they do believe in Allah. You know, they're devout Muslim, and we used the voice-to-skull technology and sent out the skull of, you know, Allah and Muhammad to them, telling them, hey, put down your weapons. This is not your war. Surrender to the Americans. And they did just that. You know, if you don't really have a relationship with the Father, when they turn it on and it be the voice of God to you, will you believe the counterfeit voice? Do you really know the voice of your Creator? Or are you just fooling yourself? Guys, you've got to be ready. I could go on and on and on and talk about the technology and that they have, but, you know, I'm just going to call this, you know, don't believe the lies. But, you know, it's heart-wrenching because I look around and I see countless amounts of people that are deceived in more ways than one. And it's just starting to pile up like cordwood. Do your best to talk to people. At least try to plant the seeds of the truth. The day will come that they'll hear you, but try to at least let them hear something that you say. Even if they don't hear you, as in hear, at least let it hear that way whenever it happens in front of their face, they may remember. Keep your brothers and sisters in prayer, and especially pray for those that's in the middle of this man-made phenomenon of a storm that's hitting our brothers and sisters down south. I'm even possibly expecting them to pull something with their technology to make some sort of destruction happen, to make people believe that it really is a Category 4, once in a lifetime, storm from hell. But just know it's not. It's totally 100% controlled by man. I love you all, and until next time, or I should say later today, God bless you.